Happy Thursday. Welcome into another edition of the NCAA Hoops Hour. I am your host, the big man on campus, getting you ready for a Thursday in college hoops, a pretty shitty Thursday in college hoops. But we'll see what we have out there, see if we can find some value. We'll go over some breakdowns here and try to fill some things out here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I'm chilling. Hope you are as well. It's getting darker and darker earlier. It's not even 5 o'clock and it's already pretty much dark out. So the winter blues are coming. It's still not even really winter yet. I think it's winter starting tomorrow or today, whatever. So you got a lot of winter coming up here. Obviously December and January and February and March. A lot coming up here. But got some things to announce today. Got some things to talk about. I'm excited about. I want to kind of put this in everybody's ears. Okay, now. It's only November, so I want to kind of let people know about this. I am about as long as everything checks out with the building that I'm going to look to rent, I am moving to Atlantic City. I don't know when exactly it's going to be. It's going to be around the first of the year. So I will be down there and settled in by the tournament. I will obviously live there. I'm basically looking at a building that is literally half a block from Ocean Resort. So I will be right there. I'll be in the building every day. I'll be going around to the casinos. I'll be around. So if anyone is able to come to Atlantic City, I would highly recommend it for the tournament. It is a great couple of days. Even like Wednesday, the day before, and then on to the weekends, and then the next couple of weeks. So, if you're going to be down there, we should try to all link up. I'm going to do some sort of kind of meet up at the Ocean Resort the Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. At least if you can come in for the couple of days, the first 2 days or something. It's a fun event to be at. So if you're gonna, if you live kind of locally, regionally, or you just want to come in. I'd highly recommend it. During that time, rooms in Atlantic City are not particularly too bad. You can even get a nice suite for, just like like $150 a night, something like that. So, if you guys are interested, I'll be there. So I just kind of want to put that in people's minds now. That way, you kind of know about that. So, if you're looking for something to do in the winter to kind of space out the winter as basketball season, or look, anytime you want to come down, anytime that you have some time and want to check out Atlantic City, I will be there. So that's going to be my new home going forward. So if anybody wants to come say hello, you know where I'm at. No, you cannot stay with me, but you can, if you're there, we can go to dinner. We can link up. We can do whatever. So, get at me. All right. Also, I kind of hinted at this. And look, I hope people understand. Again, it's more or less for bringing on guests and things like that. But guys, again, these shows are they're going to be more and more out there. I mean, I do a lot of shows. I do an NBA show, which we've had some days when we're not doing it, but for the most part, going forward, every day we're going to do it. We got the right side of campus every day. We have this show. We have Saturday college football, Sunday NFL. I'd like to start bringing more people on to do those shows. I'm going to do, I'm trying to do bowl stuff. So again, there's going to be a situation where I'm probably going to make this channel a Patreon. I know people are probably going to, be people that are upset about that, but again, I can't continuously sit here and do all these different shows, all this different content. I have my own website to deal with. I'm giving those guys obviously, the most of my attention, and they're getting stuff, before others. They're getting futures, they're getting breakdowns, but I can't continue to do these shows for very little. So, and also I can't as well bring people like Ski Profit or Donnie Rightside or whoever. So, it's not going to be a lot. It might be, $10-15 a month. It's basically going to work out to like 50 cents a day to watch these shows. But it allows me to throw some money towards guests to kind of give me some of their time and to grow some things as well. So, and then I can maybe, start doing, giveaways and things like that, stuff to get people enticed to listen to the show. So, I mean, you're here to, you're here to get good info, and I feel like we're doing that every day. All right. Can you get a sponsor for the show? Yeah, I can, but again, we got to realize nowadays it's tough to get sponsors. It's people that are, they say they'll go support and they don't, and it's just hard. Hard to get people that, again, like for instance, if I have a local business, that doesn't help someone that listens to this show. So it's like, where do you really go? And it's just hard to get anything to work. And then sponsors kind of die out, like some of the books that I've done. Everyone has them. People have Bet Online. People have My Boogie. People have these places. Exactly, Yerks. Thank you. All right, let's get into the show here. If you have any questions, you can send those in. I got a couple games that I highlighted. I'm going to make it clear I don't have any plays tonight. I just, this card blows to me. There was really nothing that really jumped out at me. There's stuff that I think is intriguing, but I think early in the season, especially with some of the landmines I talked about, you've got over the next couple of days, you have some tournaments starting. You have games in random areas. You have, it's Charleston and New York and all these different tournaments, Bahamas, so Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands, all this different stuff. So, again, I wrote an article about this over at pubsportsradio.com. Go check that out. It's kind of a do's and don'ts of neutral court college basketball preseason tournaments. So you go check that out. It's good for anyone that bets on sports to read, especially college basketball. It really kind of gives you a glimpse into what you've got to make sure you're looking for. All right, let's get started. Couple of thoughts I have. One of which is this Toledo Notre Dame is kind of interesting. Notre Dame's struggled as a favorite. A lot of it's had to do with the fact that they're laying a lot of big numbers. You look at some of the numbers. I mean, you laid 30 against Howard. Weren't able to cover that game. You laid 20 against Robert Marsh, got the job done there, but you laid 19 to Marshall, couldn't cover that. 26.5 to Presbyterian, couldn't cover that. I think right now with this Notre Dame team, I haven't been real impressed with their offense. I mean, they've had games where they've looked intriguing, but you look at the last two games, shot 32% against Marshall, shot 41% against Presbyterian. They're just not, they haven't really put that full offensive game together, really outside of that Robert Morris game. But this is a pretty competent opponent, Toledo. This group has been terrific so far offensively. They're shooting 52% on the season, Toledo. That's impressive. This has been a really interesting team out of the MAC so far this season. And keep in mind, this game is in South Bend. You look at the pace in this game, you're going to get I think a pretty good one. Both these teams are pretty quick. And this Toledo team, number 2 in the country in 3-point percentage, 64th in 2-point percentage. Their effective numbers are top 6 in the country. They've been awesome offensively. Now, again, this is a major step-up game. And I think this is where I think the kind of rubber meets the road. The cream kind of rises to the top. At some point, I think Toledo's shooting numbers are going to be kind of normal again. One of them was kind of just they played Howard and scored 112 points. But I think this is where kind of you look in certain games where teams just kind of flex their muscles and just kind of show they're a better team. And this could be a spot where Notre Dame's able to do it. It's also a game where you're not laying double digits. You're not laying 15. You're not laying 20. This is a more feasible number for Notre Dame. I also look at the fact that Notre Dame's only allowing opponents to shoot 38% on the season. I feel like for Toledo, this could be a brick wall type of game where you run into it and you just really kind of screech your tires and stand in place. So if I had to go with this game, while I think on a numbers standpoint, Toledo looks like a really good play here. I think Notre Dame at home, I think they maybe get Toledo to turn it over a little bit, and I would lean with Notre Dame here if I had to play it. But it's hard to bet against Toledo right now with the way this team is shooting the basketball. What else do we have here? Everyone had under for Missouri State, Miami. It seemed like a major landmine. If I had to play that, I like I said on Twitter, I'd have took in Missouri State. Yeah, by the way, last night, I wanted to just kind of go over what we had last night. Siena was a terrible beat. Uh, San Diego State hit. Loyola hit. Um, Illinois just covered. If you had Illinois, good for you. I had Belmont last night. That was my premium selection. Um, it looked really good, but last two nights I've had two games where the coaches are just overcoaching. Like the Tuesday night, I had the over in the La Tech game. Their coach like sat the entire starting lineup for like the entire second half and just played like backups. And then last night, Belmont, they're up I think 13 at the time. Their star player Adam Kunkel gets a weak technical, and the coach ends up sitting him for like the final 5 minutes of the game, and he never goes back. And then they proceed to miss 7 of their final 8 free throws. I know that like at the end of the day, people are like, "Well, you made the bet, you sent the bet out, it's your thing," and it's like, well, yeah, I know, but some of this stuff's hard to like cap. It's like, so like some kid gets a random technical and it like he doesn't play again. It's like that's overcoaching. Just sucks. I mean, those stuff we even out, but it's just irritating. And of course, San Diego State, the other game that I liked. But again, you've got to keep the I know people are sick of hearing me say it, but you've got to keep your units low. You cannot be betting 10,000 games. You will get fucking crushed, especially early in the season. So overall, not the end of the world. All right, keep it going here. If you're on Twitter, retweet this show, will you? I'd kindly appreciate that. If you retweet the show, I will love you forever. So do that for me and make the big man on campus happy. Also, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I know I had a lot of random questions earlier on the right side of campus. I also wanted to talk about the Arab trial, which I know for a lot of people, if you like rap, it kind of sucks. I will say Arab, it's sad to see it happen. I'm a big Arab fan. I think he's one of the only great rappers left. It's a shame we're not going to see him for a long time. Let's get back to some basketball here. A couple other ones. I considered Youngstown today. Youngstown State against Akron. This seems like a pretty nice spot for a dog to hang around. Youngstown's actually a pretty solid group. They've been able to kind of hang in some of their step-up games this year. What they do well is they rebound at a really high level, both on the offensive and defensive glass. They have a kid named Naz Bahanan and Darius Quinsbury, kind of a guard wing tandem that have been really good. Garrett Covington's been solid for them as well. I just don't know if the defensive numbers have translated for them because they made kind of a move last year on defense to kind of stop trying to force turnovers and just try to defend in the half court, and it didn't necessarily work at a high level. But the great thing tonight about Akron is this Akron team is, as usual, not good offensively. They really don't do much of anything that's going to bother anyone here. So, I kind of considered it maybe an under here. I could see an under coming in with this game. You have a total at 132.5. It is kind of been bet down a little bit, but I think this is too many points. If you can get 8 or higher, I think this is a pretty solid bet. But I still, before I kind of get enamored with Youngstown and believe, I need to see them kind of defend at a higher level because that's always kind of a concern with them. Washington State's intriguing, but you didn't get the best number. If you're betting this game now, and this game falls 8 or 9, it's going to be kind of shitty because this is a number that was at 7 last night or earlier today. A lot of people like this new Wazoo team, and I do too as well. Ernie Kent was not the guy for the job, but Kyle Smith is. This is going to be a team that I think is going to make a similar run up like Oregon State has done in football. We saw Oregon State, who they're not a whipping boy anymore. They're starting to find ways to hang in games and be better. Washington State, I think, is going to be that too. They have a guy, TJ Ellaby, who is a really good basketball player. They've been really solid defensively, and they're getting a Nebraska Omaha team in here that's been horrid defensively, particularly on the road. You look at the 3 road games this year, Nebraska Omaha 0-3 straight up. They're allowing 80.5 points game. That's always something that they've struggled with. This is also a team that's been on the road over a week and a half. So, you got to, I probably imagine pretty tired of traveling. And this is going to be a tough step up game for UNO. But again, you're not getting the best number here. North Florida, Iowa. I think Iowa early on is an over team. But I think with this game, I would look more along the lines of maybe a team total over. The problem I have with North Florida is, are they able to score enough? But this Iowa team, I think year after year, this has always been the issue with the Hawkeyes. They're not good enough defensively. They don't really offer much on that side of the basketball, and that's not been any different this year. They're 301 in effective field goal defense. It's just not good enough. And this is something that must change under Fran McCaffrey. And if it doesn't, I don't know how you can continue. This is a UNF team that if you know anything about how they shoot and play offense, it's bombs away from three. They're going to put up a lot of three balls. You look at their 3-point attempts, the field goal attempts, they're fourth in the country in 3-point attempts. They make a lot of them. And you look at in the country, the number one team in point distribution from the 3-point line. So out of all their total points, how many are contributed by 3-point baskets? They're number one. 54% of their points come from the 3-point line. So this team has been effective marksmen from three, and that is not a good idea when you're playing if you're Iowa. This is a horrible 3-point defense. And you look at up and down this roster, both these teams are going to go at a high pace. You look at Garrett Sams, 40% from three. Ivan Gandhiarosa, 38% from three. Wajid Aminu, he's made one 3-point shot and he's attempted one, so he didn't shoot a lot. JT Escobar, 46%. I mean, where else do you go? Ryan Burkhart, Dorian James, all these guys can shoot the basketball. If I would bet this game, I would bet it over. But I think if you're an Iowa over guy, you're kind of jaded after last week. Iowa was playing against Oral Roberts, and the game was, I think the game was at 95 at half, and the game pushed on 161. So it was kind of a rough beat. I think a lot of people could have some pause there, but this is going to have a terrific pace to it. And Iowa should be able to score. They should push 90 in this game. I think, again, the only way we don't get a high-scoring game here is if these teams just bottom out. So keep that in mind here. I see your premium plays are being posted online. It's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Somebody's paying me to get them, so – listen, I only have a certain amount of people, so I'll find who it is. I know what time limit it was, so I'll uncover who it is. I think I know who it is. I've always known who it is. The thing is, though, I can't really prevent this from happening. Is it my intellectual property? Yeah, but there's not much I can do about it. So, listen, I'm not real worried about it. I'll find out who it is, and they'll be cut off, and that will be that. So, and they will not get a refund. So, I will find out who you are. Once I find out, you're being cut, and you're not going to get your money back. So, you can fuck off and go complain to somebody about it. There's nothing I can do about that. What about Georgetown +7? Can they keep up with Texas in Madison Square Garden? I'm not so sure they can. Georgetown just seems kind of – I don't like them defensively at all. I'm not into Georgetown. The pace they play with, it's just not real easy to defend playing like that. And their guard play is interesting. I don't love it. They're turnover prone. I don't love Mac McClung and Akinjo. And, against these guards, Matt Coleman and guys like that, that's real trouble. This is a really good Texas defense. Luke Yaklich, their defensive coach, He's come in and really given them with Shaka Smart's way of playing defense. This is a really strong defensive team, 13th in the country in adjusted efficiency from that standpoint. They turn you over. This is just, I don't think, a real good matchup for Georgetown. This number's down to 6, which is surprising to me. I would lean Texas here. I really would. The one thing about Texas, though, that you don't like is, they're not real good at getting to the free throw line. It's really just half court and go, and I'm hoping they can do that. I also worry about your 7 here, who can guard him, but Jericho Sims should be able to handle him. And I think this is simply a case of, I think Georgetown just runs into a team that's again just better than they are. And I think that's kind of how the Notre Dame game will go as well. But I worry about Georgetown's guards, the frantic, erratic pace they play at. That's going to play, I think, right into to the hands of Texas. But tonight, this Texas team's got to rebound the ball. You got to grab the ball with 2 hands. This is a good defensive rebounding team in Georgetown. Right. Any thoughts on Arkansas Pine Bluff? No. I have no. I have nothing on that. At what point does this total lose all value due to line movement? Are there key numbers? There are no key numbers. I think if the number gets kind of bent out of shape, and it just doesn't feel right. It's really a feel to me in basketball. That's a good question. For instance, with like Washington State, I mean, the number was at 7, so you're kind of at that 3 possession mark. Now it's up to like 9, where you're going to have to win by a full, it's going to be a double-digit win. So just kind of a mindset there, how those teams shoot free throws. Can they close games out? Which early in the season, you don't have much to go off of there. How about UConn Buffalo? Yeah, I didn't have much on that one. I already talked about Notre Dame. South Dakota State, Arizona. This was one game where if I had to play a game tonight, this was a game that I was pretty into. And I'll tell you the one reason I didn't bet it. But I would still say, if you're out there, and I told the people that pay me for picks, I told people, take a shot with this guy. I wouldn't go, I'm not telling you to bet a unit on it, but have a few dollars on it. This is a game that I did feel pretty good with. But the one thing I didn't like about it is, are we running into a team in Arizona that is just best team in the country good? And can they just defy every line and every expectation? On paper, this game should be 85-70. And South Dakota State should score enough to get this game over 145.5. That seemed too low to me. Now, when you look at Arizona, you're going to see a lot of great defensive performances. He gave up 52 against Northern Arizona, 39 against San Jose, 53 against New Mexico State, and just 69 to Illinois. But one thing that South Dakota State can do that none of those teams can is they can press the pace. They're good in the half court. They're efficient, and they have guys that can shoot the basketball. It didn't matter that T.J. Otzelberger left South Dakota State, because his assistant, Eric Henderson, who's the new offensive or the new head coach, he plays at the same pace. He adopted the same team that they were last year. It's going quick. It's creating offense in the half court, fast breaks, jumpers, high-level three-point shooting, and a good tempo. So they're going to go, and they're going to score in this game. They have enough, South Dakota State, with, Brandon Key, Doug Wilson, and Matt Denlinger, Alex Arians, Noah Friedel. They have plenty of options offensively. That's not my concern here. I also don't have a lot of concern with Arizona. They're not going to have any trouble scoring. South Dakota State has been a sieve defensively, as usual. They're top 20 pretty much in every offensive category. Neither team is particularly adept at turning the ball over, and both these teams are terrific from the free throw line. The only thing that I worry about is, it seems like every time Arizona plays, they do something like, wow, I didn't expect that at all. Is this a game where they just shut South Dakota State down and this game is 85, 50 or something? That's my only concern here. How does South Dakota State travel? It's just they're just some concern. They're a young team, and that's really been with every game today. There's like something that says like it's not great. It's good, but it's not great. But I still think South Dakota State's pretty solid. I like this team from a standpoint of, you know, I think they can score defensively without Mike Dom. They're better. Mike Dom's a horrible defender. Uh, and look, losing a guy like Dom offensively is tough. I mean, he's really good. He was really good. He was a generational player there, but he was pretty bad on defense, which is hurting. But Zeke Najee's been unbelievable. Nico Mannion's been terrific. Josh Green, Dylan Smith, Max Hazard, Jamari Baker, Stone Gettings. I mean, they're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. We also have an interesting game kind of in this similar area. New Mexico State, down at Las Cruces, the Pan American Center. I don't know, coin flippy game, rivalry game. Two teams in state don't like each other. New Mexico is made up of a lot of transfers. Jaquan Lyle, Vance Jackson, Carlton Bragg. It's just kind of a throw together of guys that are at other schools. How does New Mexico State bounce back? They were kind of humbled against Arizona. Does this team just struggle with teams in the top 100? I don't know. I think New Mexico is more talented. But to be honest, I'd probably just take who's ever getting points in this game. Should be a pretty close one. Is Zeke Najee a first-round pick? Yeah, I would imagine. What else do we have here? Duquesne. Yeah, a lot of people asked me about Duquesne. I had a couple people tweet me about that, DM me. I feel like this game's first to 70 wins. I have no idea. This game's in the Bahamas. If you're betting this game, I would light your money on fire. It's probably better to do that. I mean, this game is in the Bahamas at a Gateway Christian Academy. I mean, what is this? I mean, I beg you guys, don't bet this crap. I mean, seriously. I mean, what are you betting this for? This is a Christian ministry. That's where you're betting on tonight in this game. That's where this game is. I mean, come on, man. If you're betting this, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Take a guess. Flip a coin. I had a guy reach out to me today who said, I don't know anything about these teams, but he's asking me about the game. I would avoid these like the plague. I would avoid Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands, anywhere in Florida. There's just too many outside things to worry about. I just wouldn't do it. Do I think the Pac-12 is underrated as a whole? Yeah, I do. I mean, it wasn't good last year. I think that's why people are kind of just thinking that it's not good this year. But yeah, I mean, Arizona, I think is a top team in the country. Oregon is top 10 as well, arguably. I think USC has some real talent. Washington, Isaiah Carter's terrific. I love that zone that Mike Hopkins runs. Washington State's improved. I mean, going to Colorado is like the toughest thing on earth. UCLA with Mick Cronin, they got some real talent. I think that defense is going to get better and better as the season goes on. Utah and Larry Krzyzewski, they've had a pretty solid start to the season. They got a guy out there at Utah, Timmy Allen, good player. Riley Batten, good team out there with Rylan Jones as well. Arizona State, great guard play with Remy Martin. Yeah, I like this. I like this conference a lot. I don't know if there's a tough game here. There's a tough game everywhere. Even some of the teams like Oregon State, with Trace Tinkle, Stanford, they're improved. You look even at Cal. Cal's not that same, walkover game anymore. So Paris Alston, Matt Bradley, Green South. It's a tough conference. Every way you look at it. Duquesne. Yeah, listen, I don't know why anyone would have any interest in these games. I just don't. You're literally betting on some random game in the Bahamas. Who cares? Like, what are you doing? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, that's all I have for you tonight. Any other comments, questions? Do we have anything else you want to talk about? Let's do a Q&A. We'll do 10 minutes. We'll see how it works. Q&A. Ask me whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You can ask me any fucking thing on earth. I'll answer it. Anything. Anything for you. Anything tonight. We'll see how that goes. But if I had to just give any thoughts, I kind of like South Dakota State, Arizona over, kind of like Texas, and I kind of like North Florida, Iowa over. But Texas is not playing Georgetown in the Bahamas. It's in New York City. Come on, man! Don't come on here trying to tell me stupid shit. That ain't right. NFL tonight. We're actually going to talk about that on the NBA show coming up, 6:30. Ski and I. Nas or Jay-Z. That's a tough one. I like them both. I would never pick one or the other. If I had to, I would say Hove, just because I think some like pre-Kingdom Come was legendary. They're both terrific. I wouldn't be made to pick. What's my favorite cheesesteak place? Phillips on Passyunk Avenue or Argon Steaks, 10th and Argon. Am I still dating my girl? I haven't seen you talk about it recently. I don't talk about it because it's no one's business. I try to keep mostly my family and stuff separated. There's a lot of fucked up people on the internet. Worst college football team? UMass, UConn, or Akron? Probably Akron, but I think Akron and UMass are 1A, 1B. First college coach to get fired this year? I have no idea. That's such a broad question. Any horse races? Not tonight. I don't usually do that other than on weekends. Can you give us a parlay? I don't play parlays. You can parlay some of the games I mentioned. How was my lunch today? It was good. It's good. It's always good. What are my thoughts on Wofford, South Carolina? I don't have a thought on it. I would have, if I did, I would have told you. Besides yourself, who do you respect as college basketball handicapper? Wow. Three-man weave, Rob Dowster, Jordan Majewski, Ian. He's pretty solid. I think Donnie, when he applies himself, when he's actually betting college basketball, and puts his all into it. Jay Cryer, he's a good gambler, good handicapper. Andy Molitor from the Whale podcast, he's good. Yeah, that's about it. What else do we have here? Oh, so many comments. I don't have anything on Duke Cal. When's the Patreon switch happening? Probably in December sometime. New York pizza or Philly cheesesteak? I like both. Overall artist, Conway the Machine or Sue Surf? Definitely Conway. Sue Surf's a good battle rapper. I can't say I've ever heard any track he's put out. Conway's put out tons of tracks. Conway's probably right now my third or fourth favorite rapper. Thoughts on Mourinho to Tottenham? I didn't really see. I didn't really feel like that was something I would have did get rid of Pochettino, but yeah, I like Mourinho. I think he's a worthy coach. Sausage or meatballs? Definitely meatballs. I like both, but meatballs. Do I go through every game? No. I kind of just kind of go at it. I can't really explain. This is a good one. Why do so many people talk bad about you on Twitter, saying you scam and stuff? I don't get it. Well, I wouldn't say so many. There's like three or four, and I'm pretty sure it's the same person who just talks to himself all day. Um, you know what, man? I just keep grabbing more followers and people that like me. At the end of the day, nobody cares about that stuff. It hasn't affected me. It will never affect me. I used to care about it, but then I realized that it really doesn't matter. People that a scam is something like saying, I have cancer, so send me money when I don't really have cancer. That's a scam. A scam is not, hey, I'm going to sell picks, give you info, work hard on shows, give you as much as I can. And if I win or lose, if you lose, I scammed you. All of my website has terms of service. You make the bet, okay? I'm going to tell you, and you're going to put your trust in me. There's actually not a lot of people that talk bad about me. I couldn't care less, really. I don't, those people actually, if I do see it, I get a chuckle out of it, to be honest. It's never affected me. I've only gotten stronger over the last 5 years. You look at me 5 years ago and look at me now. I'm very happy with where I've been at. I've had huge companies that want me to work for them. And I don't need to prove that to anybody. I know it's true, and the people that I'm close to know it's true. So I've learned over the last couple of years to not let the little shit bother you. You're going to lose. Okay, you're going to lose games in a row. You're going to have tough stretches. You're gonna, get sick. You're gonna, have a car tire that loses air, and you got to go get it fixed. You're gonna get a nail in your tire. You're gonna have a bad meal once in a while. I don't sweat that little shit anymore. I just think of good things in my life, and I'm happy with who I am and where I'm at, and that's all I care about. I don't have time for negativity. If you talk bad about me, I don't care. But you start talking about my family, you start calling me scam or thief, snitch, something like that, you're out of here. It's that simple. I don't have time for it no more. And if you want to go listen to those people, go ahead. I won't. It won't worry me at all. What do I think about New Mexico? I didn't really have an opinion. A lot of comments. Do I ever come to Chicago? If I had a good reason, I'd come to Chicago. Greg Peterson. What about Greg Peterson? Do you ever bet a game just on feel, even though numbers aren't there? Yeah, for sure. Do you have a favorite college basketball team? Yeah, I have Temple season tickets, so I definitely like to see Temple do well, for sure. Midgets jousting with wiffle ball bats on mini horses. Is that funny? Um, Not really. Did you see the Irishman? No, I have not seen the Irishman. I'm waiting for it to come on Netflix. Patrick Beverley or Draymond Green? It's not even close. Patrick Beverley. Who do I like more? You're asking? Yeah, Beverley for sure. Top four finishers in the Premier League: Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. I'll say Arsenal figures it out. All right. Best season you had gambling? Definitely the 20, not last year in college basketball, the year before. Um, I don't know. I saw a tweet saying you were down and not showing records with your old website with Donnie. Well, you could ask any customer I've had; they'll show you my old website with Donnie. Last year, I want to say I was up about 5 units of college basketball. But you know, thanks for watching, Jimmy. Appreciate you. I have a feeling your name is whatever that guy's name is that trolls me. I think that's probably you. I love these people. I love that you keep creating accounts. When will you guys realize all that benefits me? Every time you listen, that benefits my show. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't feel like you understand that. But keep doing it. It's fine with me. Just a straight up guy, never runs or hides. A lot of cappers disappear after losses. I can't disappear. I'm always here. I'm here every day. Greg Peterson knows his shit. Good dude. Yeah, Greg definitely knows what he's doing. Greg doesn't talk to me anymore, so I don't know what his issue is. I guess he's upset with me. I don't know what I did to him. Last time I heard from him, we were cool, and he wanted me to do shows with him. And then I tried reaching out to him, and it was just ignored. And I know he sees it because he's on Twitter. I mean, he follows me, so I don't know if I offended him in some way. I don't know. I was always there to do a show for him when he needed me, and likewise with him. So, I wish him the best. I don't know. I don't know what's up with him. I would love to help any way I can with him, though, if he has me and he needs to do a show. Thank you, T. Johnson. Appreciate you, pal. No doubt, no doubt. Where would you live if you didn't live in Philly? In this area, probably far the fuck away from the United States, Albania or something. All right, I'm out of here. Enjoy your night. I'll be back at 6:30. We got 2 games in the NBA tonight, just 2. We'll also hit some NFL with Ski Profit, see what he thinks about the game, and see how it goes. Have a good night. See ya.